I can feel I can talk about anything I want and everyone will understand about it and they won't laugh.
You're learning from people who've been where you've been and who maybe have some idea where you are right now and where you're going.
We learn a lot of the things that hurt us is through media, so to have a voice using media is a closer step to confronting the issues that we have.
We really encourage people to trust the value of their own voices and stories.
I became less afraid of my own voice and the message that I wanted to send across.
When you really want to get rid of the isms, that's what it boils down to, relationships between individual people.
Good afternoon. I am Dr. Laura Hetzlinger, and I'm here to take you on an educational journey into the confusing world of teenage sexuality. Adolescence can be a confusing time, and your new feelings of attraction can make things even tougher. You may have come across those who refer to themselves as heterosexuals. They claim to represent 90% of the population. But what is heterosexuality? And why does it have such sway and influence over our young adults? These questions are perfectly natural, and this film will attempt to answer them. But the real questions are, heterosexuality, is it normal? Is it healthy? And is it for you?
And what's your relationship with your mother?
Why does that matter?
Well, what do you think caused your heterosexuality?
Well, when I was younger, I saw a lot of images of heterosexuality.
I'm a heterosexual.
Good morning, Dads.
Morning.
Good morning. Now remember to come straight home after school.
Okay. Speaking of straight, you guys know that I'm a hetero. Well, you guys know that I'm a heterosexual, right?
No. No, we did not.
What are you gonna wear to the ball? I think you should wear that one over there. This one? Yeah. Cause it's royal and...
When will you grow up and stop playing with such girly toys? I also found this record you might like.
It's fun to be that way.
The nerve! Do you really think that's necessary? And in public! I have children over there. Really, it's like you're trying to recruit. They don't need to be exposed to that kind of behavior. Can you believe that? I can't even take my kids to a public park. Kids, are you okay? Oh, it's all right.
Well, there you have it. These images may have been disturbing. They may have even shocked you. But they are the straight facts. The question is, how will you, the budding citizens of our future, face these challenges?
I just feel like it's so obvious. Of course, there's a huge amount of queer and bisexual youth that commit suicide are on the streets. Where have we ever made a safe place for them on society? The school grounds aren't safe. Junior highs aren't safe. High schools aren't safe.
I was a week away from graduating in Edmonton, Alberta, high school with extra credits, honor roll, all of those things, and I went to school in drag one day and I got expelled from the school system and I wasn't allowed to graduate. And that set me back about 5 years. And I just recently got my GED, and that was the most oppressive sort of like in an institution setting that I've ever had, besides kids, but kids can be cruel sometimes.
I forgot my notebook once in the library, and the next day I went to get it, and I opened it up, and there was all kinds of stuff written all over it, and it was the worst time ever. And they wrote you lesbian, and they drew like penises all over, and you don't belong here, and sinner, stuff like that.
I moved to Prince Albert, Saskatchewan for like a year, and I fell in love with a girl there. We had to keep it a secret in that town where they already made comments of like wanting to burn us at the stake. And then going to prom, she graduated, and they all do the grand march or whatever where they take pictures, and she didn't want to do it because she was afraid that people would spit on us.
I got bashed and had a bunch of my ribs broken, and I got kicks. I got kicked in the back a couple times, and they like actually broke my flesh with their boots.
Do you know what it's like living in fear? Walking alone? Waiting for people to jump out at any moment?
Hey, Kenzie!
In the hallway? Down the street?
I'll get you after school.
You scare me.
Faggot!
And hurt me.
I know where you
Your words
live.
filled with violence.
Kenzie!
After all, I'm just a faggot.
Faggot!
I'm surprised how much you seem to hate me and think you know me. I never get space to question my sexuality. Maybe I am a fag. So what? You hold hands in the hallway. You dance at grad. You kiss in the yard. It's our space. And I'm tired of you dictating what is what, who can be with who, and what names I'll be called. I have the right to exist, to be free, to be safe, just like you.
The reason that people come out and the reason people endure the oppression is because our personal relationships with each other are so important. Like, what do we get out of the life that we live other than the moments that we enjoy with the people that are closest to us and the learning that we get from our life? And in order to get beyond a certain level with somebody, you just have to start being honest about a whole number of things, and if you're queer or not, that's part of it.
The message that I get is that, yes, women do sleep with other women, but it's really not that serious, you know, like, it's just the flings they have, because, you know, we all know women are sexy, and we all want to sleep with women, and they do it together, but really, when it comes to a serious relationship, a woman can't have a serious relationship unless it's with a man.
This is a really hard thing for me to say, really. It's been a really emotional thing for me, and I met this girl a few years back. She was pretty cool. When we were together, we were always happy, and just me and her, we were like happy, having fun, and We started trying out things like kissing, holding hands, stuff like that. Innocent little things like that. A few weeks ago, I told her that I loved her. I told her that I really loved her, and I needed to tell her that I was bisexual and that I did love her. And she told me that she loved me back. Not too long after that, she told her father that she was bisexual. But her father said that, like, it's just a phase, don't worry, you'll get over it. And, like, I guess her father had told her mother, and her mother separated us. And, like, I was really depressed after that. And I have to be separated from the person that I love a lot. And it's hard. And I mean, I have hurt myself because of it. I didn't know what to do with my anger towards her mother, my sadness from being separated from her, my frustration, my everything. I didn't know what to do with it, so I hurt myself. I scarred my arms and my hands. But I know I am gonna get over this. I've already become stronger because of this, and I'm gonna get even stronger. And I know if there's other bisexual women out there, or even anybody, anyone has this kind of trouble too, just hang in there. Be strong. Don't give up, because it will happen. And I know it's going to happen with me. You just have to ask, why won't you let me be me?
I found out from a mutual friend between her and I that she when she heard or whatever, she was like, oh my God, that's disgusting. I can't believe she slept in my bed all those times. I can't believe, like, I changed in the same room with her. I can't, we were friends for so many years. And, like, I wasn't even attracted to her anyway. Like, get over it there.
All it needed was to think about it logically and realize that the other, like, everybody that was against you really gave you nothing. And that you should stick with the person that gives you the most.
Not only could our friendship not go on, but it was like this one piece of information all of a sudden diminished and erased and, like, yeah, just erased our whole friendship that had come before that point.
From my friends, the least thing that I expected was for them to defend me when there was groups of people talking behind my back, and I didn't get that. I didn't get that at all. And, like, I myself heard them talking bad about me just because there was rumors of me being a lesbian, and that's not acceptable. And I hold them responsible for what happened, because they are.
I feel so small.
I feel so small.
I feel so small.
I had received a care package in the mail from my family and was very excited because care packages are very exciting. And I opened up the box, and inside was some literature on how homosexuality could be cured if you pray hard enough. A leather-bound Bible with my name inscribed in gold. I thought that the people that raised me would accept me unconditionally. And at that point, I realized that that was not the case. All of a sudden, the world just became 100 times bigger, and I stayed the same size, and that I was by myself.
I sort of made an appointment with my mom to go for lunch so we could talk, because I told her I needed to talk to her about something. And she's like, so what is it? And I'm like, well, I'm a little nervous. And she's like, well, are you pregnant? No. Are you going to jail? No. Are you dying? No. And she's like, well, it can't be that bad then. What is it? So I'm like, okay, well, you know, the thing is I have a girlfriend. And she's like, oh. And then she did this thing of like trying to be cool, but really she wasn't cool with it at all, right? She's like, I forget what she said right away, but the thing that sticks is she was like, just make sure you don't take anything too far and do something that you may regret, because we all experiment. And I'm like, just thinking, what the hell does that mean? Like, what is taking something too far? Like, you know, I mean, that can mean a number of things. Declaring myself a dyke, okay, and then, like, having to go back from that, or, you know, like, or going, like, having sex, like, I don't know what she was even thinking. I don't have any idea what she was implying, but she's just like, you know, because we all experiment, and it's just a phase kind of thing, and, like, it's fine, but just don't do anything you'll regret.
Hello. Hi. Hi. Hey. How are you? I'm gay. What? Gay. Oh. Well. Well, I sort of, you know, expected that. Oh, you did? Don't need to make a conclusion for yourself that this is what you are and you always will be. It's that at this particular moment and phase, you know, in your life, you are. Don't close yourself up and label yourself. Oh, you label yourself, right? You are not gay. You're labeling yourself as heterosexual. It's like an indoctrination almost, like being in a cult for a while. I think that a lot of it is as a result of family life. And why would you think that? Because I know. That's something that happens to you because of like experiences, other experiences or whatever. Well, I'm sure you probably don't understand it, and that's okay. No, I do understand. Like, you're actually giving me the whole spiel. Like, if you're in that milieu, like, you're always thinking like that. Everybody will give you all the stuff, and they'll tell you all the things, the whole spiel. Nobody told me anything, okay? Well, it would be easier for me to not be. It's all right. It's okay. Okay. I love you. Yeah. Okay. Bye. Wait. Hello. Hello. I love you. You say I love you too usually, right? Okay. Bye.
And so I tell my dad one night, I'm a little nervous with him too, but not as nervous. And he goes, yeah, so? And I'm like, yeah, I'm a dyke or whatever. He's like, you're just figuring this out, Tara? And I was like, no, but, you know, you're supposed to be surprised.
What would be easier? Pretending that I was in love with somebody that I wasn't for my whole life, and pretending to be something entirely different, and never really getting to see or experience queer culture firsthand, right? That's one option.
I think for a long time it was just based on like blind faith or hope, you know, because I can't think of anything that I was aware of that it, for one thing, would be okay to, you know, be in a homosexual relationship.
If you're queer, you don't really necessarily have like queer role models to look up to, or like queer characters in TV that are like, that's something that I can be like, but I don't even necessarily think that as part of my growing up process that was bad, because it almost left me freer to then discover what I could be on my own without somebody telling me.
So I guess maybe for a couple of years I was in a bit of denial. Like I just was like, oh, well, that's not really how I am. I don't need to be expressing that, you know. And then kind of I met new people, some freaks moved to town, and I wasn't the only freak, and I was able to be a freak, and then I went to the bigger city of like 50,000 people and got myself a girlfriend. And
I had this friend who's queer, and so he was really into hypnotism. So we had this plan that we would learn hypnotism and become hypnotists, and then we would hypnotize each other into not being queer anymore. And this was our big plan, so we worked all summer on it. And but at the same time as we were doing that, we were also like exploring sexually with each other, which is this total there's this weird push and pull there, because we really didn't want to be that, and we were fighting against it, but at the same time it was like things were happening, we couldn't deny it, it was going on. And I think, I don't even know when I stopped fighting against it, but at some point I kind of went like, all right.
I am Miss Mustache, and I'm a serious artist, and this is my coming out film, Super 8, No Sync Sound. Tamara says she's bored with coming out films. She wants to see lesbian flicks about lesbians who have been living as lesbians for years. I agree, but it's only 1.5 minutes. My mom says lesbians are fat and have short hair. I'm fat and have short hair. I'm a lesbian, but my mom's fat and has short hair, and she's not a lesbian. Sometimes I get nervous that I'm not a lesbian. Like when I'm sleeping, and I wake up, and I feel good, and I realize that I had a heterosexual dream, and I have no one to tell because they might not think I'm a lesbian. Or when I get uneasy because I don't have a crush on a girl, and I wonder if I'm attracted to women after all, but then I remember her, or her, or her, or her, or her. I just recently became a lesbian. When I update people, it usually becomes an interviewing session. I refuse to answer dualistically posed questions. I refuse to answer dualistically posed questions. I'm a lesbian. I'm a lesbian. I'm a lesbian. Hey, I'm a lesbian. 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 But I'm woman first.
I didn't feel good about myself until I was in a relationship with a woman. That was the first time that I actually understood like what it felt to be loved, and what it felt to love, and what it felt to get intimate, and what it felt to trust somebody. And it was, I'll never forget it. It was one of the most beautiful times of my life. And I remember the first time that woman told me she loved me, I cried so much because I was like, oh my goodness, what have I, like, first of all, I was like, there's a beautiful woman loving me. But besides that, like, it was such a loaded thing because I was like, I can't believe I spent all these years believing that I was not worth it, you know, and it just blew my mind. And it's something that triggered stuff, and it helped, like, it totally boosted my self-esteem, and I was like, I am worth loving.
I am not Canadian, I'm not a lesbian, I'm not Caucasian, Asian, raising conversation when I lie down on lines of classification. Lines, fine lines, we will walk outside and we will read between. We will come vocal, verbal, whole over your TV screen or any medium. In each other's lives we be these labels, strive for freeing them, seeing them, recognize that we're not needing them, so weeding them out and leaving them. And as I am, I will create ideas and begin seeding them. As I am not caught, stopped at words or social construct, not careful with my conduct if I only partially fit, where, when, what box you see fit, be forced in it for waist size, wallet size, sexual history, ancestral list of me, size I be spans my entire humanity, way too wide for the tight box assigned, fire from within will burn and blind the judging eye, because I just be, just continue to jump, swim, fly, weep, think, sing. I will honestly try to know you beyond the one thing I had impressions of, and simply let you impress. Care not for any terms with which I readdress a tired critique, not meek, never alone. Please find me nameless, prone to blame this person result of demographic, but consult the changing traffic and we can love who we care to, walk where we dare to, discover I am.